Good evening. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the last live of June for Candi, anyway. Hi, Luann. How are you? I've got some messiness to play with tonight. We're going to create some glittery mess. I'm going to be covered in glitter. So hopefully my card works out tonight. I just want to make sure everyone's kind of in before we get started. I don't want to forget, I'm not sure if I know all of the details and specials right now. I do want to say any of the links down below are affiliate links, which means if you place an order using one of those links, I do get a small commission, which helps me bring you content. Next week, I do plan on going live on Friday night, unless for some reason fireworks would go off here, but they're usually, there should be Saturday night here, so I should be fine. Because it's the 4th of July is Friday or Saturday. So hi, Brandon. Hi, Karen. I'm going to go ahead and switch right down to the table. And we're going to get going. I have a couple extra products that I didn't necessarily link, but I do have the stamp of the month. We're going to use the swatch, simple swatch. We're just going to use the square tonight. And I do have the soft silhouette stencil. I don't specifically have an idea for this yet, but I think we'll use that. I grabbed some overlay. I may use that for our sentiment. We're going to use some of the super sentimental, which I already have stamped and cut out, and probably the die that comes in the box. And then last but not least, we're going to use the boho background stamp set. Hi, Miss Penny. So, and this is where our glitteriness comes from. The glitters I already have pulled out, but I have the glitters from the glitter bundle. And I pulled out all the non-chunkies. Okay. So hopefully my card will work the way I planned on it, but we'll see. I'm going to start with the first card that I want to play with, and then we'll work on the second one, which is the glitteriness. I hope that's okay with you guys. Hi, Mama. Get my stick and stay mat here lined up, get us back centered. Just got some white cardstock here. And then tonight, I'm actually not using my Misty to stamp. I am going to use an acrylic block. Because I'm going to use the Stellar inks, I don't need to use a block because they're very, very juicy. I just need my stamp. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're just going to do some basic color blocking. And I'm going to start with my Crybaby ink. And I'm just going to ink it up real good. Hi, Melissa. And I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to stamp it down and we're just going to leave it for a second. And then we'll pull it up. And I'm just using some cardstock from my stash that I had found a bunch of pieces cut up that were already A2 size panels. So it's just a heavyweight cardstock. And then, like I said, I'm just going to do some stamping of this. I did a version of this for Design Team Project that I haven't posted yet. And like I said, hopefully we'll get a couple of cards in, hope maybe 3, but I'm going to work on 2. Next, I'm going to go to Cold Shoulder. And the only reason I'm switching these out and moving is because I'm going to use 3 colors. And now I have room for the 2 I need. So next is Cold Shoulder. And all I'm going to do is overlap them some. Look at how beautiful that color is. And I'm just going to randomly stamp. No rhyme or reason. Off a little bit here and there. It works best if you choose less colors than, oops, that one didn't go in all the way because I was off. That's okay. We'll cover that up a little bit. And maybe we'll go in just a little bit in this corner. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this off quick off the sides because last time I did this, I put my finger right into it. And of course, that's not what we want. And then I'm going to use Siren Song. I hope everyone had a good week. Does anyone have any plans for the weekend besides tomorrow? Those of you who are taking the watercolor class with Christopher in the Air stores. I'm super excited for that. I will be at my local scrapbook store, Scrapmania, playing along and hosting the local people that signed up that live there that are going to be there in person. I have my friend Julie and I are going down, and I'm super excited about it. We're going to try to eat at this yummy, yummy, yummy Mexican restaurant, depending on how late class gets. And then again, I also said we might decide to eat anyway, and then we just won't have dinner. All right. Now, the one thing I will say is because I have such a big block, I keep running into this. So that's why I keep turning my stamp set around. I'm going to put this one here. Let's go in like this. I'm going to use this corner over here just to kind of fill in. And then go ahead and we'll do one more over here. And then I'm going to go back, I think, and grab a little bit more of the light blue. Okay. So we're just color, like I said, color blocking. I mean, what a great background we already have here. And then I think I know what we're going to do with the stencil. I'm going to go ahead and grab that Crybaby because that's that lighter blue and just add a few more spots just to fill in a couple spots that might not be quite, that have a little bit too much white. I am going to let them overlap right here. And I'm going to do a little right there. And I'm going to do a little bit one right up here. That looks good to me. Okay. Now, the one thing I will say about Simon Hurley inks is you do know that you may have to heat set this before you can do the next step because they do stay wet a little longer. So I'm going to quick wipe this down. So then for my next step to add just a little bit of subtle color, and of course I got to grab it because it's in the other side of the room, but I'll do that after. I'm going to go ahead and grab the subtle stencil. Hi, Miss Julie. I was just talking about you. I'm going to go ahead and grab that, put this down. Oh, thanks, Sherry. Yeah, there's a Mexican restaurant across the street too. That's where we ate at for our last crop when we went down. And I'm not kidding you. My mom's gonna be okay with this because the refried beans were better than my mama's, and my mama makes good refried beans. It was so good. So we're hoping to eat there. But yeah, there is a really good Italian restaurant. I believe I've eaten there in the past too. So we're going to play it by ear. That's the goal for right now, is to at least get there and get through class and see what time it is. And if we're ready to come home, we're going to shop before class. All right. So next, what we're going to do is this is where we're going to have our little subtle background. Julie, did you get my text? I sent you a text of what we needed to bring with us tomorrow. I hope you got it. And I've got my embossing ink pad. I like to use a sponge dauber. I know we're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow. And I'm sorry if I'm shaking. I did not heat set this time. I'm okay with that because I'm just going to dab this all over, and we're going to use the embossing powder of the month, which is the Icicle. And it's just going to add a little subtle shine. And it's just a little bit of a pattern. And you can see I just re-inked my ink pad. So where the Simon Hurley inks are, you can see how shiny they are. Now, if you didn't want to heat emboss and you didn't want to do this step, you could do the sparkle overlay. And that would be beautiful and stunning as well. But I wanted to use this up a little bit just to show you. On the card that I made similar to this for the design team, all I did was mask off and use the circle pieces, the circle dots. Which we might do that on I use this dot and I use that dot and that dot. All right, so let's pull this up. And I'm gonna okay, good. I saw that today. I printed you the PDF that we're supposed to get tomorrow. or not the PDF, but there's a collection of things that, for those of you who haven't get it, we can get it to the store. The store can get it. It's in there. their store archives, and it has some information. Or yeah, your store can get it to you. There's a download. You don't need it for class. It's for your personal. But I made a copy of it. Okay. So we're just going to heat set this. And I'm using this as a dish towel. I'm going to use this to keep my desk clean from the glitter mess. Just trying to find a spot for my icicle embossing powder. All right. So here's the magic. They're starting to melt. Do you see it on the darker colors there? Okay. Now look at that really soft, fun background. So you've got a busier stencil, but it creates a very soft, subtle background. So I'm going to let this sit aside to dry, if that's okay. And we're going to start on our second card, and then we're going to come back to this, okay? Because I want it to cool off a little bit. We're going to start on our rainbow card. Okay, so first thing I need is one of these. Now, the only thing that is going to be a little different is when I went through my glitters, I found pink. I have peppermint bark. We have fuchsia, which is kind of, I'm going to say like pretend like is my red. Then I have polished copper, which I'm going to use as my orange. Jamie, you should have a QR code on your kit, and that will get you into class. You'll need to scan that, and then you'll be able to get into class. You can scan it like tonight. Nothing will happen, but then if it's in your history, so like if you're going to your TV, you can go to your YouTube and your history and find it. But you did get a QR code. I believe it's on the label. Okay. I haven't gotten my kit yet. So then there's lemon lime for green. I did the Bahama blue for blue, and I grabbed the deep space for purple. So we got kind of a rainbow, but there's really not a yellow per se. So we have that orangey yellow. So if I grab where did I put my, you guys see my stamp? Oh, there it is. Yes, perfect. That way you can get it. Cause I mean, it's a live class. So, but it's too hard to get everybody the link. So yeah, this should be, I believe it was on the label for the other class. And then you can just scan it in. And then, like I said, I have found when I take a class, if you get the links, if you open them before class, if you have the link, you can go back to your history and then go to like a tablet or computer or a TV, and you can find it in your history on your YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the we're going to grab the Buzzkill because I feel like this is a little bit lighter color. And this is how we're going to add our yellow. I'm going to just randomly stamp the yellow. Hi, Jill. How are you? Yes, you can also click that too, the notify button. But I like that too. That's positive too. But I like to do the history button because if you do your notify, if you don't, because sometimes then if it's in your, when you go to your TV, if you started it on your phone, sometimes you can't quite find it. Where if you can always go to your history and find it. How are you, Miss Jill? I think I'm coming up your way later this fall, Jill, because I'm going to come up to see my mom later this year. All we're doing is adding some yellow. I'm doing the same thing, but I'm adding it all over. I don't even care if it overlaps. I could use yellow cardstock too, but I'm going to use this because it's just different. And it's going to be a little weird. It's going to be a little, but it's going to work. So, I mean, I'm not really worried about getting a perfect stamp and coverage. I just want a bunch of yellow. All right, I got one more. Let's just stamp it right here. Okay. Oh, yeah, thank you. Awesome. I appreciate it. I will be live next week too, even though I know it's kind of holiday weekends, but okay, next we are going to use our boho background stamp set. I have to get my Misty out for this. And I'm going to cover up my stick and stay mat, okay? Because we're going to be getting out the glitter. And I leave my stick and stay mat on my mat, on my glass mat at all times. I just cover it with the cover. And then like I put my glass board over it, but tonight we're just going to use this. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this right in the middle. And we're going to stamp this in black. Yeah, I do. I also make save a private class list. Like I think I have all of my Brutus Monroe ones in that one called Brutus Monroe classes. But if it's an event that has multiple, like the Crop and Create, I make a playlist that's Crop and Create. Or like CYOE. I will make that a CYOE, which that sign up is available. There are some spots left. That's coming up. So if you're interested in that. And then we're just going to stamp this in Raven ink. I want this dark, dark color. I haven't even used this yet. So hopefully if things go well, like I said, I've got 2 cards planned. This one's going to take a little while. I hope that's okay with you guys. The other one's drying and won't take quite as long because it just needs like basically a sentiment. Oh, I got a smudge. You see that? That is something on a piece of felt. Oh, well, we'll make it work. This doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be kind of covered up. This is the messy part. You do not have to, you could do this with watercolor if you wanted to. And then, like I said, do some sparkle overlay. Or you could use colored marker or colored pencils or alcohol markers for what I'm going to do with the glitter if you are not a glitter person, okay? I'm going to kind of wipe off my stamp just to kind of keep my, oh yeah, my stick and stay mat cover is right there. It was, then that's kind of clean. All right, let's get that out of the way. Okay, next, this is where it's going to be messy. So if you guys give me just a second to set up, I don't even know if it's going to work. So you guys are you're my guinea pigs. I'm going to move my, I'm running out of space here. Move this out of the way. Okay. Get all my glitter moved over to the side. That's good. I've got my big tablecloth here. And this is just extra protection for my thing so that I can take this and shake it if I need to. I don't need any stick and stay mat or stick and stay mat or any of that stuff because it's going to be glittered. All I need for this is glue. Now, where did I put it? And all we're going to do is some random glue dots. So I do have my glue tube. I think this is a Gina glue tube, but I don't know what's in it. I just have one of those little fine tips on there, and we're just going to go through and we're going to add, and it's just, this is what, now you can tell what I'm going to do. It's not going to be perfect, but I think it's going to be fun. I'm just going to go around randomly, and we're going to do color by one color at a time, and it's going to be a mess. Yes. You could go and, if you wanted to, you could take your time and paint each color with a paintbrush instead. But I'm just going to kind of add a lot of glue. If my glue will still love me. Let's get my pin out and see if this pin will help with this. This pin might be too thick for this. There we go. We're just gonna add a bunch of glue. I'm not worrying about too much glue or not enough glue. This is just, and then I probably should go up here, and I should probably go here, and then I should probably go here. All right, so now you see what I'm gonna do? We're gonna go ahead and, I'm not gonna rub with the edges. Let's get our pin in our glue. So it's actually, let's just cover it with the silicone. And then I have a piece of copy paper here because that's going to be the easiest way. The cloth is just the extra. And then we're going to start with our pink. Hi, Missy. Yeah, and so what I'm going to do, and like I said, I haven't tried this. I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to just sprinkle it on. And I'm going to tap it off. And it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be kind of a mixed media card, but we're doing one color at a time. If you really wanted to be careful with this, you could do it and let it sit. But then, because the glue that you see is going to dry clear. But look at how fun that is. Cool. Yeah. So then I'm going to take this. I'm going to tap my jar down, tap my pieces of paper. This one's, like I said, going to take us a little while. And then I can tap my paper. I'm not going to worry about too much contamination between colors. That one was peppermint bark. So then we're going to take our next one. And I don't even know how many colors I need. I just grabbed a bunch. And we're going to go do our next one. And you can go on the line, in the line. Like I said, I'm just going to add a bunch of color. And when I run out of space is when I'm going to stop with colors. You know, I don't have the yellow. And if you had a yellow glitter, you could do a yellow. But I'm going to just keep going. I may even not worry about it and say, have that goldy color, coppery brush copper color be my orangey yellow. Because it's card making and creativity. I think sometimes, I know some people don't like glitter, and that is fine. You know, like I said, you could do coloring and then use, I need to get some more steel needles. These ones are not steel, they're rusting. I'm not worrying about being a perfect arch. All right. I am trying to get it to the end, of course, but I'm not worrying about it being a perfect arch, or I just want to make sure I have enough glue to have the glitter stick to it. This looks like it needs more glue. This one looks like it needs more glue. Okay. All right, let's stick our pin in there. That'll help it. And we're going to move on to our next color, which is our fuchsia. Okay. And it might stick in those little holes. Like I said, if you really wanted the colors to be separated, you might, this is where our, yeah, it's going to be fine. You know, or you could do your brightest colors first and then go into your lighter colors, because the brightest colors are going to cover up some of the lighter colors. But like I said, I'm going to tap it off. And then I've got my next line. Thank you. I think it's just fun. I think it's a fun thing to do. And it's one way to kind of use your glitters but it's a step, because you're going to have to let it dry really well. I mean, like, I don't know if I can necessarily put a sentiment on it yet, but we'll try. It might not be warm enough in here today. And then my pink. All right, so the next color, red orange, right? We're going to use that polished copper. So, does anyone have any fun 4th of July plans? And see, I didn't worry about that smooch right there because I'm going to cover it for the most part with my glitter. I mean, does anyone have any big traditions? My kids growing up, a lot of times we did sometimes stay here, because the one town near us has a big, oh, I didn't get any red there. Shoot. All right. We're going to see if we can fix that without making a big mess. I'm going to see if I have a small, excuse me. Where is I'm going to use this. I'm going to try very carefully. I didn't get any glitter right here. That worked. I'm just gonna, there we go. I missed a spot. We used to go to my parents' house a lot because, the kids were, my mom and dad lived 6 hours away. And my family would have, my one aunt loved the 4th of July. So their town would have a parade. And a lot of times we would go home and go to my parents' house and go there. I am going to stay home. And, well, what my tradition is my honey and I go up and we go berry hunting. Like I go pick raspberries, let the dog run like crazy. And that's probably what we will do in the morning. And then I'm going to come home and do some crafting just because that's what I like to do on the weekends. And I actually have to get us ready for, we have a collaboration. I'm going to let the cat, we have a collaboration coming up and there's going to be a hop. So that's coming up. So I got to create with that. All right. So now we got red, orange. Yep. See, I almost messed up. Got our orange. And it's not even a cover. I could have skipped other colors. We're not going to do every one of them, like every rainbow tonight, just because I don't have time to do every rainbow. I don't, every arch. You could have skipped every other arch. Now, when you see, when I do this, it looks like a hot mess to start because it's stuck to other spots, but then you just tap it off. Whoop. See, that's why I put my cloth down. It is now all over everything because I hit the pile. Now, I didn't put enough glue with my pink, so my pink is starting to kind of fade. Does that make sense? See it? But that's okay. Yeah, now I have glitter everywhere. That's okay. And I'm going to tap. You can kind of hear that. Tap my paper on over and underneath. And we can put our this way. So now I may add some more pink after we're all done, but you guys got the idea that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left, and I have 3 glitters. That's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and sometimes all you have to do if it just so you know, I'm blowing into the tip of my glue, and that will clear it out too. I don't know if anyone ever knew that. You may not want to be that kind of person, but I do it. It's faster than grabbing that pin sometimes. Yeah, I might have to put the pin back in. Push that really far down, except that I'm not sure where I put the pin now. Oh, wow. That really goobered out. That's okay. So, and then I can just use the tip of the pen, to kind of move that. I had that big glob. Am I on camera? Okay. And I can just move the tip of that around. Because if you took your time and you really did each row, you could use the tip of your glue tip bottle and you could really spread it out and cover the whole thing and get it kind of equal and perfect. Oh, somebody slammed the doors. Neighbor. Or the neighbors here. Fletch still barks at all the neighbors. Some of the neighbors. Especially if he's sleeping. Sometimes when he's sleeping, he wakes up and he's sitting outside with Daddy having a fire. And then he thinks that he's got to protect us because he was sleeping, and then there's big noise. Big scary cat. All right, sorry, I'm just blowing that in a little bit, adding a little bit more. I didn't add the orange to this one, so I'm going to try to wipe that up. I forgot to add the orange up here. That will work. We'll skip it and add the green. I'll probably cut this down so I don't have to worry about that. So, all right, here's the green. Look at how this green is beautiful. So it takes a little bit of a process because obviously you got to go one by one. But it's really pretty and it can be worth it. Now, another way you could do this if you didn't want to is you could do, it wouldn't necessarily be an arch per se, but if you had double-sided tape, you could put double-sided tape down for each color of the rainbow and do like stripes, which is probably what I should have done, but I'm just trying to use up the stamp of the month as well. And so I thought this was a good way to add that yellow in. Like I said, I left the orange off up there. I'm okay with that right now. We got 2 colors left, so hopefully you're sticking with me, guys. Let's see if we can get them done kind of quickly. Oh, that didn't all stick green. That's okay. We'll fix it. I forgot to put glitter on that, or it didn't stick. The glue dried. That is one thing you have to move fairly quickly because the glue will start to dry and then it won't stick. But now if you see, I have enough of that space left underneath each one that there's going to be some yellow that shows. And that yellow will tie in then to the rainbow. Like I said, it looks like kind of a hot mess. Oh, this is a pretty color too. This is a little chunkier, but it's still really pretty. And then if you can take a spot, like right here is a good spot because there's no, and I can just tap it. And then there must be a little bit of purple in there. There's a little bit of purpley blue in there. But it's pretty. It's mostly blue. A little bit of lavender, if you can see that. So we've had a very busy week here in Guttenberg. I have been, those of you who know, I'm a secretary for a real estate firm, and we have been super busy. We sold, did we sell 2 properties this week? Yes. We sold 2 properties this week, listed 3 properties this week, closed on another property this week on top of all the other stuff that we had to do this week. So it's been very busy, and I am so glad it's the weekend. Well, my glue is starting to dry up again. Come on. We're almost done. I think my pen was over here. We're almost done. Stick with me. All right. I'm going to pull that down a little bit. And I'll do that there and there. And our last color, cover up my pin, is this deep space, which is a dark purple with some other colors in it. Now, I'm not one of those people that worry about a fixative or any of that stuff. I'm sure you could. We actually could even put, I know it's glitter, but you could cover this with like I said, I could actually put a piece of sparkle overlay over the top as well, which would seal in the glitter, but it wouldn't be as pretty. Or we could do a piece of acetate over the cover, and you could do like a mini, like a, not a mini, but a full shaker card without any shaker bits, and that would conceal the glitter if you really wanted the glitter inside and not getting out. I've got a little extra glitter right here that I don't want, so I'm going to try to wipe that up. And I'm like, I love how it kind of turned out. Now my green was kind of wonky over here. So I am going to tap this off kind of hard. And then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to move this. I mean, I know I still have some glitter, but I'm going to kind of pile it up here a little bit. And look at how pretty this is, you guys. And I'll be honest with you, it doesn't even really do it justice. Now you could keep going. I could add more pink. I could do pink, red, orange, green again and fill it in. But I'm going to stop it right here, right now, because I think that's enough. We're going to let this dry for a little bit and go back to our first card, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put this on our piece of paper, copy paper, and kind of lay it over our garbage. And then very carefully, and you can see I have glitter all over there. So tomorrow I will probably grab my vacuum cleaner and suck that all up. Okay, so here is our card. We need to do something with this, right? Let's trim it down because you guys know me. I'm a big fan of having a little bit of a white border. I'm not necessarily always get warm in here, guys. An A2 card panel. I gotta uncover my garbage a little bit. We've got this. Now I think I want a very, so I've got all these sentiments here and we've got all sorts of ones. I want to use the congratulations, which is a long sentiment. You could just do this, but I think I'm going to I'll go one step further and I want to create a mat. And I want to create a panel that's going to land up. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm really digging this color. And this is the Siren Song. Really digging that color, that teal color. And what I'm going to do is we're going to edge it. And we're just going to edge. That's the one thing I love about the Simon Hurley inks is it takes like no time to make your own mats and your own colored cardstock. And that's all I needed to do because now, let's see this. We've got our beautiful color and I could actually do another white layer if I really wanted to as well, but I like the color there. So I'm going to leave that. And then I'm going to take one more piece here and I'm just going to do it right on top of my stick and stay mat here. I'm just going to go down the edge. There we go. And then I can wipe up the extra here because that was just acetate. Let's get some squeaky clean action on that. And then for just a little bit of sparkle, and of course it's on my fingers, we're going to add some of the acetate or some of the sparkle overlay. I'm just going to trim it down. I'm not even going to worry about the dimension of it. I'm going to trim it down to 1 inch. I know that's probably more than I need. And I'm going to just peel it off and stick it down on over this. Ready for the magic? Actually, let's flip it this way because this is the raw. Oh, I'm going to stick it down. And that's going to kind of cover up that color. It makes it a little darker. But look at that. Look at that shine. And then all I'm going to do is trim it off. Trim it off. And I'm going to trim it down to 5 1/4. So I'm going to trim off each end because that cleans that up a little bit. So it's just shy of 1 inch. I cut off just a little bit more. And then we're going to stick it down right here. And we're going to put this on here. And then, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Now what I think I'm going to do is we're going to stick this flat. To ask, who's read their Christopher? Who's read their what? How to tie a tie on things my mother taught me book, Christopher's book. Who's read theirs so far? I loved it. I cried. I cried and I laughed and I quoted it out loud on places that didn't make sense. And so the people I was quoting it to didn't understand because it didn't make sense what I was saying to them. And then I explained it and it made sense. Because it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm going to use some of my foam tape here and we're going to tape this up. Jamie, I have to say, you said you got your kit and you didn't open it yet. I'm like, either you've been super busy or you have willpower because I rip my open. I mean, even if I get, like, if I order, let's say, a D-stash, I open it almost before I even get in the car, even though I even know what I got and what I ordered. I like to open it right away. All right. I'm just going to line this up. And I didn't get quite all the sparkle on there. I guess I cut it a little short, but I'm okay with that. I'm just going to put that towards the bottom. Got this. And then I'm going to use both liquid and dry adhesive because this is sparkle overlay. And it's a slick surface. And I find that for me, when I do glitter stock or slick surfaces like this, if I use both, I have better luck. And I'm just going to put the congratulations down right there. Oh. Jill, if you used one of my links, yes. And that would take off and give you a small discount on items that work. And it also gives me credit, which is I appreciate so much. I didn't know. I know there is a code. It's Sugar Cards by Candi that you can go in. When you go in, if you remember Sugar Cards by Candi, you can put that code in, and it will work on the items that it will work for. It also will, if you are a subscriber and you're not getting something that you can get a second discount on, it still gives me credit for that. So I appreciate it. Oh, Jill, I love them. They're great. So thank you. That was awesome. So yeah, I mean, like I said, if you used one of my links, that was how. I appreciate that. Because I did link all my affiliate links they're my affiliate links are only when I'm live, if that makes sense. So here's card number 1. I'll finish. Look how pretty that is. Oh, well, I appreciate it, Jill. Thank you. Yeah, I thought I put above affiliate links, but and then like above the first code, but like I said, I appreciate it. And I haven't been able, I don't ever check out while we're live, so I've never seen it, unfortunately. You're the first person who's told me, so thank you. That's how it works. I usually shop during the live shopping because trying to put the numbers up for either the prizes or just to get the, because that's when I'm usually watching, so as much. All right, so let's see if this card, I think this card is going to still be a mess, but we're going to go for it. Thank you. We're going to go for it. I kind of want to cut it down, but I don't know if I'm going to be able, it's going to create a little bit of a mess here because it's still a little wet. I'm going to trim it off the top and the bottom a little bit. I try to do this without making too big of a mess. It's somewhat dry, but it's not perfectly dry. Oh yeah, see, look at that. Yeah, that was a mess. All right. We're not going to cut it down anymore. We're going to wait. I will cut it down when it is dry. Thank you. So I hope you can pretend it's going to have a white border around the outside. So I'm going to just put it all together and then I will cut it down. So when I post the photos on Sunday, you will see it with the white border, okay? Because it is still wet. We need a sentiment. If I want to go through here, and what sentiment should we use? We're going to use one of these stamps too, one of these dies too. Let's do celebrate. big celebrity card. And it's rainbow. It's June. So we will do that. Let's see here. I'm going to do the oval. This die set comes in the inspiration box this month. So what we're going to do is, once again, I'm going to cut this out with some vellum for my stash, and this out we're going to make our color background again, but this time we're going to use our yellow. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just swipe it over. You will love the stick and stay mats. In my opinion, I love them. I haven't had anybody else's, so I can't compare them, but I use them every single time. I leave the 6x6 in my Misty. And then I use this one. I leave on my desk all the time. It does fit on our our glass mat, or if you have a mini glass mat, it will fit on top. But I like to keep it underneath, and then I can put my glass mat on top. I'm just not using my glass mat tonight. I don't know why. I'm just not. Thank you. That is super sweet. So go ahead and put this in. Oh, we got to do this. I always did this the wrong way. And I know I can cut into, did I cut that too short? Oh no, this is the one I want. This is vellum. I didn't want to do it ahead of time, even though I could have done through the magic of television, had one done, because I really wanted to do it live and see if there was any problems. Oh, okay. You peeked a little bit. You didn't notice the cured, but you still see it now. Okay. Awesome. Awesome, Jamie. I know that there'll be some people in the chats and stuff. So, you know, that if, you know, like, still be around, like with our messages and stuff. I don't know how often I'll be available with my messenger chat, but because I'm helping at the store, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I don't have my package here for the last class, the last air class, but that's how we all got onto it, was just looking at that QR code. I feel like that's missing something. Boy, I am getting a little warm, you guys. Woo-hoo. Okay. There we go. So we're going to glue this down to our vellum. And we could have done even more glitter. And instead of vellum, I could have done glitter stock. But I wanted to keep it, the glitter, to the glitteriness of the glitter. Oh, the breeze coming in is amazing, you guys. I love it when it's not too hot in the wind, especially in the evenings. I don't mind during the day because I'm usually inside in the air. And but in the evenings, I don't want it to be warm. I want to be able to go sit outside and enjoy. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this right down right here. And I'm going to stick it in. And it's going to stick too because there's glue underneath. And I'll actually just try to wipe that glue that's right there. It's going to dry matte. And then this is our pretend part. Let me grab a card base. So what you're going to see when it's all done is it's going to have the white border like this. Okay. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Penny has that. You're excited to get them. Plus I was excited. Unscented. Yes. Yes. That's awesome. Yes. You're welcome, Jill. It's nice to have the unscented sometimes too. Mine isn't always allergies, but some of the flower scents are too strong for me. We just got some candles. I just got a bunch of candles at a garage sale, and a lot of them are like fall and Christmas, which I love, but I was like, let's use the other ones up first. And one was an orchid flavor. And after 2 times I told honey, I said, nope, can't do it. It's too strong smelling, but I didn't throw it away. I put the lid back on it because I want to try it once more time. So here was card number 2. I mean, I can kind of twist it. Once the glue completely dries, it'll be even shinier. And like I said, I think I'm going to go back through off camera and add a little bit more of that pink in there because it doesn't quite show up. It's not as thick because I didn't do the glue as properly. But I think that's really fun. So we have 10 minutes. So we go for another card, one more card. Let's go for one more card. It's going to be a completely different card. How does that sound? Because I haven't seen a lot of samples made with this yet. This is called the Better Everyday stamp set. It is a background stamp. And if you notice that you can line up the background so you can continue the pattern. So if I was to, let me see, I'm going to move it here. That's going to be a little hard to see. I'm going to stick it here. But what I would do is I would take this, and in me personally, I would line it up with acetate first, and I would reline it up so that when I stamped it down, I would see if I could line it up right with those two. And I would stamp with acetate first till I got a perfect lineup. And then you could continue your pattern if you wanted a longer card, like a slimline card. But we're just going to make a standard old A2 cards. Do I have any more card panels? I do not. So let's cut one down quick. Oh, I don't want to cut one down with this. We want a colored cardstock. Let's grab whatever purple I find. We're going to grab some Heather. This is a retired cardstock, or one of our cardstocks that is in retirement, but it's just a purple cardstock. Any cardstock color will work with this pattern. And what we're going to do is we're just going to make a fun color. I have a lot of cleaning up yet to do tonight. I want to go sit outside, but I got to get ready for my class tomorrow. I could pack in the morning, I guess. And so here's where I can do it this way, or I'm going to go ahead and do it right in the middle. We're going to just do like a big old center spot. So I'm just going to try to line it up as center as I can, top to bottom, side to side. Oh, it looks close enough, right? Actually pretty square too. And instead of using embossing ink, I'm going to hit it with an anti-embossing tool. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of those purple inks that I pulled earlier. I'm going to grab Crown Me, which is a deep purple, my favorite purple. Ooh, that'll be fun. Jamie, I love the background stamps too. Oh, yes, Jill. I love that if you watch carefully, a lot of our background stamps that are patterned like this over the years have been able to be lined back up. So if you get one just because you like the pattern, check it, because it's very possible it lines up. We had some 4x4 stamp sets a few years back that I did not know. I wasn't on the design team at the time. And I was like, I think this lines up as a pattern. And it did. It seems weird to me, Penny, that it's dark for you already, because we're basically in the same time zone and it's dusk here. So it'd be another hour. It would be another half an hour yet before we would have any fireworks. Now, I could try and line that up tonight, but I don't know if I have a piece of acetate handy that will work. I'm just going to cover this up. Just want to make sure that purple is nice and dark, because you guys know me, purple is my favorite color. I really, really, really like that it's just perfect on the center of this card. Look at how cool this is. But yes, if I was to go here, let's see, I'll just take the stamp packaging, and I'm going to eyeball it like this first. I could take it and I can rearrange and keep going, because I have the stamp packaging protecting my card. I can go down until it looks like it's ready. And what I can do is I can stamp it like this. And if you look at that, so let's stamp it on the acetate. I hope that acetate piece, let's tape it so it stays. It should stay because it's stuck to my stick and stay matte inside, but I want to test to be safe. I'm going to stamp this down. So you could use your stamp packaging for this. And I'm going to just stamp it down and see how the pattern lines up? Yes. Pitch black and Misogen. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yes, you have to go get your spot. Yep, I totally agree. Go have fun, Penny. I will see you next week. Maybe, if you're around too. And probably talk to you tomorrow. So I could stamp this out a little bit further if I really wanted to, which it kind of ends. So why don't we? Why don't we stamp it down? Perfect. So then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull this over. I'm going to wipe off my acetate. And I'm just going to keep going because my acetate's in there protecting my stamp, and I'm going to line it up. And it's easier, obviously, when you can get your head directly above it. Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, the acetate can move. That's fine. All right, let's wipe the acetate off just to make sure when we stamp it to check it. So I like the acetate because I can just stamp it down and check. And look at that. It's lined up. It's lined up close enough. Let's wipe off the acetate and peel it off. And then I'm going to stamp it down. And I'm not going to ink blend it up. I'm not going to ink at the top as much. I'm going to try to ink down here where I need it more because I don't need it to be necessarily darker, because sometimes you stamp over and over and over again, it gets darker and darker. And it's not perfect. It moved just a hair. I didn't get it perfect that time, but you get the idea. I couldn't go overhead. See, isn't that cool? But look at how fun that is. What a great fun pattern. I'm going to go ahead and wipe this off and cover up my mat here quick. So we have a very, very quick card where, once again, I could cut down the edges so I got the purple on the outside. But I think I'm just going to add a sentiment to this. It's going to make it very, very simple. Let's do sending. No, I've done sending love before. Let's do a different one. Best wishes. I don't think I've done a best wishes card yet. And I'm going to go ahead and grab some more. And this time what I think I'm going to do is do the light purple. And then we'll do the dark purple matte. And we should be able to cut them out both at the same time if I do it right. So I'm going to take my piece of cardstock here, and I'm just going to stamp the Crown Me down on it. And then we will cut it out quick, and we'll have our card done. So we're going to run over just a hair, just a minute or two. If you have to go, it's okay. I understand. I'm going to have to tape this on there because I didn't quite go over more than I should have. So I'm going to tape it down on here with just some washi tape. Okay. And we could add some, you could go ahead and add some sparkle overlay on that again, and it would add some sparkle underneath it. But I'm going to cover most of that up. Once again, you could also trim off the edges a little bit and give that purple matting layer around the outside. But I'm going to use this to kind of cover up my area that I overlapped here that I didn't like per se. We're going to just do this. And we're going to, and now you can see I haven't got ink smudges. You even got some ink smudges from my fingers, but it'll be fine. It's just paper. It's a homemade card, and I can put some embellishments on there. I'll go ahead and stamp this down. I think I'm going to layer it right over the edge a little bit, just because. A little bit. And this is actually, I'm not going to use that one because if you look at it, it's not the best sentiment. That is supposed to be one I'm supposed to do a background with. So we may switch our sentiment here. Just because, where did it go? Miss you. Best wishes. I'm using best wishes. That's what we wanted. I'm going to grab a piece of foam tape once again. And just pop that up. Grab my glue, and we're going to add a few gems right where I made some mistakes. And then I'll do a gem here and a gem here and a gem here. And I'm just going to grab whatever gems are handy, these crystals, and we'll add those in and we'll be done. And there's a lot of glue dripping out of that, so I didn't need a lot of that glue, but awesome. There we go, you guys. Oh my goodness, the crafter math on this desk. So all I'm going to do is take my cloth, gently touch down right where those gems. I'm going straight down. I'm not rubbing because you can move your gems from where you moved them. And there we go. Look at that, you guys. We got our second card. Do I have a holder? I do. I have this as a holder. It's from Blue Sparkle. I actually have an ambassador. I mean, I can send you a link if you prefer. I do have a link. I'm an ambassador for Blue Sparkle. My friend Treasure. I can put it in a link. Here is the link to her website, or just go to bluesparkle.com and you can find it. But yes, thank you, you guys, so much. And that's what I use. And so here is, it sits like this. I love it. That's where my perfect press came from. And then she has some other containers. I have an Olo Market holder that she has that I can travel with, and a paste container for my Brutus Monroe paste and embossing powders. Oops, that's me and my honey. So this is my travel case. I have 2 of those for Olo markers. So that's what I use. But here is my cards. And you're always welcome to PM me on Candi Vanderwerf, or you can go to Sugar Cards and ask me too if you are looking for a specific. I can always send you a link that way too. But yes. So Jill, if I don't remember, I don't know if I'll have time tonight, but I will. I can put the Blue Sparkle on. I don't know. Let me see if it's on my regular blog, because I have links. I have my favorites, my favorite things. I don't have all of my links. Oh yeah, maybe it's under my affiliate links. Oh, I'm going to have to add that to it. I'm not sure why it didn't come up. I'll have to add that one to it. But I will add it to my favorite things too on my blog, and then make sure that's put up, and then it's on my channel too. So I appreciate you guys also so much. I am going to head out and hang outside for a little bit, enjoy the fire pit, and then I need to clean up and get ready for class tomorrow. Have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you next weekend. We are going to play with 4th of July next Friday. So not that they have to be 4th of July cards, but red, white, and blue theme. Okay? So have a good night. Talk to you later. Bye.